Hi, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Fine, thank you.
Good.
Okay, I'm happy to see you again in my office.
I'm glad to be back.
So, you all talk the same issue we talk about it in last week, or you would
Well, I
have
can tell
another
you.
shot?
I can tell you how the situation last week improved.
Okay, please.
My sister did tell my dad that she wasn't in school anymore, and he took it rather well. You know, told her that whenever she was ready to get back into school, that he would support her, and even now that she's not in school, he'll still support her as long as she still has a job. So that's good. She still works, so she's able to support herself. And I think overall, as long as she's happy, then my dad is happy.
Okay, so you tell me your sister go back to school to complete education?
Not right now, but she will.
Yeah. Okay.
She will. She's enrolled in another program for starting in January.
That's awesome.
So yeah.
Okay.
So that's something new that I learned too, is that I didn't know she was actually officially going back.
Okay. Do you happy about that for
Yes.
your sister?
Yes, I'm happy that she told my dad,
Uh-huh.
because I feel like, it was her responsibility to tell him. And I'm happy to find out that she is actually going to go back.
Okay. So, okay, your sister, you talk with you about you will go back or you stay with my family, you with your family and tell us I will go back to school.
After we talked, I told her that I felt like she needed to go ahead and tell our dad.
Talk with you?
Yes, I talked to her,
Okay.
and I told her to tell our dad.
Okay.
And, after I had told her the reasons why I thought she should,
Mm-hmm.
she immediately decided that she was going to go tell him. So she called him up, said she had something important to discuss with him if he could meet with her,
Mm-hmm.
and she went over to his house and they talked about it.
Okay. So, what about your father? He is happy about that also, or?
I think he's just a little disappointed that she didn't finish, just because she only had about 2 months left before she had her degree. And I think that bothered him a little bit, that she was quitting when she was just, she was right there.
Mm-hmm.
But, I think once he heard her situation and he saw that, maybe being in school and trying to handle a job was too much for her, and it's a little bit easier now that she doesn't have to be in school and work,
Mm-hmm.
that she can make a little more money outside of school in order to put towards going back to school. So
Okay.
I think he sees that, it's not as stressful for her, and she's a little bit more happy. She's happier that she's out of school right now, just because
Okay.
she's got other things she can focus on. And I think as long as she is happy, then he is happy.
Okay. So, what the big point that tell your sister to change her mind and go back to school?
Well, my parents have always told us since
Is
we were.
any happened or just she changed her mind and go back to school?
You want to know?
What the big point? Why she changed her mind?
Why she changed her mind about going back to
Yeah,
school?
yeah.
Well, our parents have always told us, when you get out of high school, you have to go to either college or you enroll in the military.
Mhm.
You've got to make a career somewhere, either with the U.S. military or with pursuing a degree in whatever field you want to do. And
Okay.
so, I think my sister just was like, I don't want to do military, so
Mhm.
I've got to get an education. And you know, she wanted to do one thing, but then she got into it and realized it wasn't for her, and that's when she made the point to quit.
Mhm.
And then now it's like she's into something else, so she says, well, I'll just go to school for that instead.
Okay, so okay, I think you told me your mother is not stay with your family, yes, or father, you know.
Well, our parents are separated.
Yeah, separate. Yeah.
So, I live at home with my mom, but my sister lives on her own with her boyfriend. So our
Ah.
family is still a unit in a sense, it's just that our parents have separated from each other and they've married different people.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I know. So what the okay, let me talk about your mother.
Mhm.
What the reaction when she know about your sister? That what the reaction about that? When she know about your sister, you will go back.
Oh, when she found out about my sister quitting?
Yeah.
Okay, my sister told my mom before she told my dad.
Okay.
It was almost
That
for
that
her.
mean that the relationship with your mother with is good or
Yeah, her relationship with our mom is better than
Better,
her
yeah.
relationship
Yeah.
with our dad. So it was easier for her to go ahead and tell my mom than it would be for her to tell our dad. So that's my mom. My mom was not really surprised. It was just, you know, she was just kind of had the same reaction that the rest of us did. Like, you know, you were so close and you only had 2 months left, you know,
Mhm.
why drop out, why quit? And, you know, now that we all know she's going back in January, it's like, oh, well, okay,
Mhm.
you still have a plan.
Okay, so let me ask you this question.
Okay.
What is the experience? What the issue give you the experience when you see this the big issue for your sister? You give you the experience for your life, or you understand me or?
Like, you know, what I learned from her
Yeah,
situation?
yeah.
Okay. Education has just always been important to me. You know, you have to have a good education to get a good job, make good money. And so for me, it was like, you know, I can't stop getting my education. It's important to me. It's important for me to have a better life.
Mhm.
And, you know, when I saw that she was willing to, you know, quit and give up, you know, it just kind of made me want to work that much harder
Mhm.
online, I guess, and to just, you know, it's not something that I want to throw away, considering all the time and the effort and the money that I've put into it. It's not worth just, you know, tossing it aside.
Mhm.
So I think what I learned from it was like, you know, it's not something that you should just quit and give up on. You know, you should, no matter how stressful something is, you know, if it's important to you, I think, you know, you should still fight for it. And, you know, we've got a very supportive family and
Okay.
that are willing to help us get through it.
Mhm.
So I just didn't really understand, you know, like why she was willing to just stop. When there are some people like myself who are willing to do whatever it takes to obtain a degree in an education, you know?
Mhm. So you tell me that education in your life is very important.
Yes.
Yeah. That okay. So okay. Okay. If you get for example, if you face get the problem, so like somebody you give the problem the chance to to get to complete education or get the new job. So which one you will choose, the new job or complete the education, and why?
It would just depend on the job, maybe. But even then, I don't think I would take it, just because it's like the education that I want is for the job that I want, and if that job's probably not even going to help me get. It might give me some experience,
Yeah.
but it's going to be the degree in itself, like just the power that's behind that degree is not. It's going to be more than the experience in that job would be. If that makes sense. So I have always chosen my education over everything. Like
You will
even
choose the education.
yes, I've always put my education first. Like even now, like I have a job and it's not the best job, but I mean it's a good job for me at this point in time because it helps me pay bills and you know, I have food and a car and clothes, you know, everyday necessities. But, you know, waiting tables might give me a little bit of insight into human behavior just because of the different customers that come into the restaurant, but it's not going to help me be a master counselor, you know, not like an education would. So, for me, it's like, you know, even now when, you know, I have homework to do, but I need to work, you know, how do you choose between work that's supposed to help you sustain your life and an education that's supposed to help improve your life? You know, what do you do? So I've always chosen school. You know, it's like the quicker I get my degree, the quicker I can get out of this job and onto a better one.
So you mean if you get the high education, you will in the future you will get the good job
Yes.
to support you in your life.
Yes.
Okay. So okay. Okay, let me go back to your sister.
Okay.
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 So okay. When he decided to go back, she has the plan for that, or just stay with you and I changed my mind. See, he had the vision, you have the plan in her future, or just because my father talked with me about that, I will go back. So why she changed his mind? Has a plan or?
I mean, I think deciding to go back in the end will, you know, like it will for me, and education will help better her life. It's just what she was originally studying for is not what she wants to do anymore. Like she wanted to be a teacher, and now she wants to work in a doctor's office. So it's like, you know, being a teacher isn't going to help you in a doctor's office. So she had to quit the teacher studies and is now going to do it's like she'll be almost a secretary in a doctor's office, like doing insurance and paperwork and things like that. Because that's what she's doing now, she just doesn't have the degree for it. And she can't get paid more at the job that she's currently got without her degree, if that makes sense.
Okay. You know, I'm very happy to support your sister about that because I think I told you that before, that anybody, you have to have that dream. Also, sometimes the somebody you lose that dream because you know that the life is very difficult. A lot of things in the life is very difficult. And if you have that good experience like your father, because your father has experience in the life, so you know that education is very important for your sister. So I'm very happy about that because you know, I think I have that good experience in my life because my age is so because let me give you this story. I chose to complete my education because I spend a lot of time to fun, to go with my friend. Also, if you arrive at 30 age, you will change your mind, because a lot of things you will, if you see things, if you want to see something in the life, after 10 years and go back to see the same thing, you will change. You don't see it the same in the same thing before. So I'm very happy about that. So I will support your sister for that, and you learn about this issue, because the education is very important in the whole life. So I'm very happy again, and so how much time now?
I think we're okay. Yeah, I think we should be okay. I think we're good. Alright, so I thought you did a really good job.
Thank you.
The main thing that really stood out for me during our session was, like, we at first were talking about my sister and her situation, and then you turned it around and put it on me.
Yeah.
Like, it's like, well, seeing your sister go through her choice of whether or not to continue her education, how has that affected you?
Yeah.
How has that encouraged
I
you?
want to understand you. When you tell me your sister changed her mind, I want to understand, because I have the experience. I have a same issue, like a same issue. So, I try to get why she changed his mind. Because, sometimes somebody, you want to change the mind, because somebody tell him about that. Because, that it's not important. Because, my father tell me that, I will go there. I will do that. So, also I'm trying to summarize your you.
I thought you did a good job. I felt like we were on the same page most of the time.
Yes. Also, but I think I ask you the same question a lot of time. Sorry.
It didn't really bother me. I mean, again, we have that language barrier and that cultural barrier, and it just takes us a minute to break through it and realize, okay, this is not what she means, or this is not what he means. This is what he means.
Yeah, because you tell me your sister stay with her boyfriend. Yes. This this not my religion.
Right, it's not the same.
Yeah, if you tell me that, how I ask her about that? I can't. So I'm sorry about that.
No, you can ask me whatever you want during our sessions. I'm an open person. If you're gonna ask, I'm gonna tell you. You might not like what you hear, but you ask the question, and I'm just gonna be honest and open with you. And
yes. Okay. So also, I'm trying to encourage you to complete to talking. Also.
Yeah, you're even encouraging of my sister, and she's not even here. I'm gonna go home and tell her Fahad is supportive of you going back to school, and she's gonna be like, who?
Yeah.
My role-playing counselor is very supportive of you.
Yes, because the important thing in the life is the experience. Yeah. Year after year, you will get the new experience in the life. So. Also, with the bad thing I did, so.
Well, I mean, again, going back to what I was saying, how, like, you focused on my sister. We focused on my sister for a little bit, and then you turned it around on me. Like, well, we see how she values her education. How do you value yours? So I was like.
Yeah, because I want the background to about all the issues.
Yeah. Yeah, and it threw me for a loop. Like, it kind of surprised me. It's like, wow, Fahad's getting it. Like, he's like, well, what's it mean to you, Emma? Oh, okay, this is about me now. So I thought that was great. I was very happy to see that. You did the reflection of meaning because you did ask about, you not only asked what my education meant to me, because that was again focus in the interview, but you also asked about like the relationship between my mom and my sister versus her relationship with our dad and what that meant. You did summarize, paraphrased, encouraging, like you said. So
Yeah.
I feel like we hit all the points.
And the support network, I think, I asked you about that.
The what?
The support network, like the, I don't know, who the support you to change your mind.
Oh, okay.
Like
Yeah, like a
that
supportive
some-
unit.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. You know, okay. So I think I will try to go better the next record. So maybe if you talk with somebody and you help me to complete and get better.
Mhm.
I think you'll be more comfortable with me. So thank you for that.
I mean, I like talking with you. I mean, if you feel more comfortable, like, talking to me, just because we've already known each other a little bit, that's totally fine. I don't mind working with you some more.
No problem. But if you talk with somebody or someone, if you ask him about that question, yes, and stop talking. That.
Oh, okay.
It's hard for me.
Okay, it's not easy for you to talk about,
Yeah.
like, your culture and things like that?
Yeah.
Or that's a whole other issue in and of itself that we have a whole session we could talk to, like, about that.
Okay. How many times?
I don't even know. I thought you were keeping up. Are you keeping up?
Don't know.
Is your phone keeping
No,
up?
I
No, no, I wasn't keeping up. I thought you were. I'm just gonna say that we probably talked for. What time did we get started? 8:39. So I think we're okay. I think we went about 4 minutes.
Okay.
4 minutes. If you're cool with that. Okay.
Okay.